Welcome. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. I hope you guys are well today. And we are taking a look at the energy that will be present. Today is the 17th. So we're looking at the 17th through the 24th. We're going to look at the energy there. I hope you guys are well. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. And if you would be so kind to like, share, comment. If you have not yet, consider subscribing. If you do subscribe, feel free to hit the bell so you'll be notified whenever new content is posted. There's like a plethora of different types of content that we do here on Blood Moon Oracle. And so a little bit of something for, different folks with different strokes. And so we have the encouragement of the day. Sometimes I'll jump on and do a weekly energy read. Sometimes I'll do specific astrological sign readings. Sometimes I'll do just the overall reading and then tap into each of the signs to see how it's going to affect the signs. I do astrological movement readings with new moons that come in, certain astrological events that come in. I do live conversations, right? I have one coming up here at the end of the summer that I'm looking forward to. It's going to be something that will probably be most beneficial for women. And so if you're just hitting the subscribe button, go ahead and hit that bell so you can be notified when something pops off on the channel. You won't regret it, okay? I hope you guys are well today. Let's take a look and see what the energy is coming out for this next week. Like, what can we expect? Feels good, like good energy. Let me make sure I didn't drop any other cards. So we're going to take a look at the energy we'll be in for this next week. Our personal reception of that energy, like how will we be, receiving that energy when it comes to our heart space, right? And then what's coming towards us on this week. So we have the 7 or the 8 of Pentacles, the 8 of Swords. So 8 could be significant. And I'm using my Crow Tarot deck today. And then the Ace of Swords. So there's something new. There's some new energy, some new truths that are coming in this week that's going to let us know that our hard work has not been for nothing, right? It's going to be something that's going to give us an opportunity to free ourselves from any limits, any stagnant energy, any limited thinking that we may be putting ourselves in or find ourselves in. Maybe it's not on purpose. Maybe it's subconscious, right? There's a truth that's coming in. We'll be sitting in this energy on this week, the energy of truth that's going to release us and allow us to actually maybe even focus in a little bit harder, push harder towards where it is that we're going or what we're working towards. And the energy of mastery comes out here, but there's some clarity coming in around what that is. Okay. So what is this hard work that we'll be putting in this week for the 8 of Pentacles? Before I clarify, I'm just going to go ahead and pull out the rest of the energies for the week. Let's see here. I want to take a look at like how we'll be perceiving this, and when we look at how we'll be taking it within our heart. So to start, overall, the energy feels really good. 8 could be significant. This is all about movement, possibly moving, getting something moving. If it's been stagnant, if there's been some confusion, there's going to be a release happening. I do feel the energy moving with the energy that will be in this week. Feels like a lot of movement. Now, when we look at how we're going to be perceiving that, even looking at it from a heart perspective, we have the Emperor. I don't know if I showed you the cards, but let me do that. So the 8 of Pentacles. This is the current energy this week. The 8 of Swords. Release, hard work, and new energy. Truth. Sitting in truth. That's going to be it's going to be powerful this week. Hear me when I say it. The Emperor comes out for the heart energy, how we'll be perceiving this. 7 of Cups. And the 6 of Pentacles. And so there's a lot of taking responsibility, taking ownership of this energy. I do feel like with the Emperor coming out, there's a sense that there's going to be a great awareness about this, the importance of this energy, whatever it is for you, right? It could come across for different things for each of us, but whatever it is for you, it's taken seriously. is taken seriously. The Emperor gives that energy of really taking ownership and this energy of control of what has been given to you as a responsibility when it comes to yourself and those that may be even under your charge, right? The Emperor is a pretty powerful energy that really sits on a level of authority, a high level of responsibility for those that will be dependent upon you. It's really assuming responsibility for what's under your helm and understanding the importance of caution as you're moving into these responsibilities with the Seven of Cups. Proceed with caution, right? And then the Six of Pentacles is almost like the energy of maybe even you being in a position to help others for whoever you are. This feels like you being in a higher level position or a more fortunate position where you are able to extend some form of help. Being in a position of being the giver, not the borrower. People may come to you or you may see an opportunity to help others. This could also be you receiving help too, though I feel for a strong sense that this is you giving the help, especially with the Emperor coming out here. So in your heart space, it's almost like you'll be recognizing the weight of your responsibility, the weight of the energy that you're carrying this week. It's Emperor energy. And you're carrying it well. You know, there's a really good understanding of what that is and the responsibility of it with the Seven of Cups. So in your heart space, I feel like you'll be in a pretty aware position here. And let's see what's coming towards you on this week. We have the Seven of Wands, the Strength card, the Five of Cups, and the Page of Swords. Okay. There's going to be maybe some challenges coming towards you, information that may be preparing you to stand your ground in some type of way. Stand in your power, in your strength, not overbearingly, but just understanding your power, right? And standing on business. I feel like that's what's coming towards you. Situations, information that's going to cause you to really have to stand on business this week. Especially with the Five of Cups. This is you needing to dig deep into your strength and allow yourself to demonstrate with integrity your strength. And it doesn't have to be loud. It could be a very quiet strength. There's something about you standing in your power in the situations that you'll be faced with this week. Doesn't necessarily have to be negative. It could be you just being able to make proper moves and proper decisions that's going to cause you to move forward. Okay. I feel like there's some information that you're going to be given this week with the Page of Swords. It's going to be important. Definitely something that you'll want to know because it's going to position you to be able to set good boundaries where needed and to be able to walk away from situations that could possibly hold you back, right? And so I do want to get the overall energy of this reading. So I'm going to pull from my abundance, or actually I'm going to pull the overall energy of this reading from my Oracle Crow Tarot deck. What is the overall energy for this next week for my viewer? What are we dealing with here this week? Risk comes out. So I feel like there's going to be opportunities and warning. There's going to be opportunities that come towards you this week or that are present this week. But with those opportunities comes a level of risk, needing to really understand the opportunities and all of the things associated or attached with them, being able to understand the information that's being shared this week, the truth that comes out, because there's something about needing to know. There's a warning here with taking risks. Or maybe not taking risks this week. Maybe this isn't the week to take risks because there's something about a warning here, being careful, moving, not only in your authority, but moving with caution with the Seven of Cups here. Whenever I get this picture, this card warning, it's a bird standing on a lamppost and there's a layer of smoke here. And then in the background, you see the fire. Where there's smoke, there's fire. So there's something that doesn't need to be taken lightly this week. We need to be on guard this week. I feel like is what that's saying. There's something happening this week where we need to be on guard, okay? Let's pull a couple more oracle cards, and then we'll begin clarifying the energies for this week, okay? I'm going to wait to the end to go into these oracle cards that I'm pulling right now. And what I'm also seeing is this hard work being put in is accompanied by this energy of proceeding with caution. With the hard work that you're putting in, the mastery that you're doing, this could be something, some energy, some information that you need to know that's coming in around work. This could be specifically around work for some of you, needing to proceed with caution. Maybe this is not being very communicative this week, proceeding with caution, or maybe just watching how you interact when it comes to work. There's something specific about that coming out here. I also have more energy coming out in regards to this truth, the energy of truth that you'll be sitting in this week. That's going to also, again, same thing, lead you into understanding why it is. There's going to be some answers that are revealed this week that's going to show you why you need to be in this protective posture or put up stronger boundaries this week. All of these energies are pointing to that. The oracle card, risk and warning. And then we have forgiveness and leadership coming out. The numbers 81 and 96 could be significant, which ends up being a 9 and a 15. So Emperor did come out. So you could be someone who is in a position of leadership. You may just carry that kind of authority. Like, we're all leaders in some type of way. I think this could also equate to someone that may look up to you as a leader. Maybe this is someone that sees you in this capacity, and there may be a need to the energy of forgiveness, to be compassionate this week. You know, there's something about understanding and remembering that we're all human. It's coming out for me. We all make mistakes. Nobody walks a perfect line. And to expect someone to do that is really unfair. And so the energy of forgiveness, I feel like, is going to be pertinent, though that does not mean that you continue to move in that same way. Maybe it just is forgiving and then putting up stronger boundaries, or forgiving and just knowing who not to confide in next time, right? But the energy of forgiveness is for you, not the other person, okay? And maybe it's you that someone may be forgiving. Maybe you're stepping on somebody else's toes. That could go both ways. However, that energy is coming out here this week, okay? So however that comes across, we're going to go ahead and start clarifying these energies. Why is the 8 of Pentacles out here for this week? I feel like this has something to do with work, something changing. Yeah, there may be something ending when it comes to work, something changing, some new, I'm hearing policy that may present some level of truth, maybe some level of difficulty. Maybe you're used to doing something a certain way, and now things are coming together or unraveling in a way that's causing you to accept some form of change. Why is the 8 of Swords here for the energy we're in this week? High Priestess. Ooh, that energy of being released from limitations, right? I feel like there's going to be some advantage you have with the High Priestess. Maybe you knew this ahead of time. This is something that you saw coming before it actually happened in the 3D. There's some advantage that you have with this. And because of that, you're not limited here. This is more like a change coming in that you're embracing, that may even be favorable for you in some kind of way. But there's some releasing of previously thought limitations here. And it's something that it feels like you knew, or you know before it's actually shared. Why is the Ace of Swords here? The Star. Yeah, you're being guided through this, whatever this is. I don't feel like it's taking you by surprise. I don't feel like it's going to cause you to lose grip of reality. It's going to further clarify what needs to happen or where you need to be guided to, right? With the Star, this may even be aligning with something that you want. It's almost like things are unfolding right in your lap. What may be restricting or limiting for others, for you, for some reason, it's not. You have some advantage here in this situation. I feel like it has something to do with work for someone, okay? So that's a good thing. Now, that does not negate the fact that also the energy of caution is coming out here with risk and warning, right? So that tells me that there's a need, even though you may know, right? This may even further cause you to be able to navigate the situation with accuracy, with caution, with the knowledge that you need to move with caution, move carefully. And even to be able to take risks that may not be a big risk because you know some form of information here, some form of truth is being revealed to you and you're being guided through this, it feels like. And so it does feel like there's something containing a change or a shift that's happening at work. Okay. Maybe it's coming to an end. Maybe you're switching over to a whole different type of job or workplace. There's something that's coming to an end, but it's not an end. It's almost like it's changing, it's transitioning, maybe even to something better. Okay. It feels work related. When we look at the heart space and how you're dealing with this, we have the Emperor coming out, and that energy of leadership is really sticking out for me. There's something about you being kind of like a leader in this situation on this week. Maybe you are in a leadership position. Leadership did come out with my numerical oracle card. But let's see, why is Emperor here? Or how this is going to sit with you, how you're going to react to it and respond to it. It feels like taking on the responsibility. There may even be people looking up to you for answers here. You recognizing some level of authority, some level of your ability to lead people or to bring something into order. Maybe people are looking to you for direction, or you recognize your position, right, on this next week. There's something about you needing to make responsible decisions, possibly not just decisions that affect you or benefit you. This may, in fact, be you needing to consider others on this week, being that you're in the Emperor role. You're responsible for others. So decisions that you make, you're realizing and you're carrying the burden of that. You're carrying the burden of that because you realize that there are others that may be possibly depending on you. So the decisions that you make may, in fact, be directly affecting others. Why is the Seven of Cups here? We have the Four of Cups. Needing to be careful, though, considering that with the Seven of Cups is that energy of needing to choose carefully, or just be careful, like with what you're choosing. You may have several different ways that you can handle the situation or respond to the need of the situation. But when you look a little bit closer and you consider, right, it's almost like there's a need for a little bit more careful consideration, not to be quick to choose. The Four of Cups is giving me the energy of being a little bit restrictive with your choice. Maybe you don't even see, right? Maybe it's difficult. You don't really see a choice. Maybe you've gotten a little bit weary of having to be the one to make the decision or to choose. There's something coming out about not even necessarily wanting to make a choice, or not seeing the obvious choice, maybe. But it feels a little bit difficult, and it feels like something that there's a need to really be aware of what you're choosing. Not taking it lightly is what I'm really getting. There's the understanding of how serious this is, okay? The Six of Pentacles comes out here as well. By the Ace of Cups is coming out for the Six of Pentacles. There's some new, form of being able to offer something new, a new beginning. And I do feel like this is you being able to offer this to others, especially if you're in a leadership role. There may be new opportunities that you're opening up for those that you're leading. Also, this could be you accepting a new beginning, just accepting it, right? Something that may possibly actually end up being very abundant too. If this is you receiving help, this opens up new doors for you, possibly that you did not see. However, you're still being guided to proceed with caution and consider the risks. Okay, there's warning around this. So we have two aces coming out. So this is like new beginnings coming in for you, new opportunities that will be present. However, you're still being guided to proceed with caution. Proceed with caution. There's some level of risk that's present here with this, what's happening next week. Whatever's being offered or presented to you, okay, it does feel like you are in a leadership role. Many people may be looking to you to see what you're going to do. Maybe you are kind of like opening doors for others, and you understand the weight of your responsibility around this. I feel a lot of responsibility being carried by a leader who has the ability to open doors for others. That's what it feels like. And they know it, which places a bit of a burden, especially when people are looking to you to make a certain decision or to do something. It's just a lot of pressure I'm feeling. There may be some disappointments here because forgiveness came out along with leadership with a numerical oracle. And so sometimes that's the case. It's like you can't please everybody, right? But there's something about taking that seriously. I feel like whatever decision you make is going to be a conscious decision where you have really been aware of the pros and the cons, or you're being guided to make yourself aware and not just choose randomly, but this is serious, right? And you recognize the weight of it. And when we look at what's coming towards you, we have the 7 of Wands, which is almost like you needing to understand boundaries this week. Maybe even understanding that you are not, in certain circumstances, on the same level as others. There's something about making a distinction between where you are, where you're operating from, and those that you may be helping, those that may be looking to climb up to where you are, maybe seeking your help, right? There's a distinction here. Why is the 7 of Wands here? Yeah, 3 of Pentacles and the 7 of Swords. We don't often talk about, being on the mountaintop, sometimes how lonely it is. Being in a position of leadership sometimes isolates you, sometimes causes you to have to be careful who you allow to get close to you. The 7 of Swords came out here, and the 3 of Pentacles is talking about work and being careful, setting boundaries this week, right? Setting boundaries this week. Some people may feel like just because they know you or they speak to you, like they should have special treatment, when actually that's not so. As a leader, there's a level of integrity that we are being asked to lead in, and sometimes we're put in positions where if we're not careful, we can be accused of, favoritism, things like that, or, people wanting us to choose them just because they, have been like a friend or an associate, someone who we communicate with. But there's something about holding good boundaries this week. Holding good boundaries this week. I feel like it does have something to do with leadership and work and understanding the importance of making responsible decisions, whatever this is. People are looking to you this week, whatever this is. And I almost get the energy too that some people may be waiting for you to trip up and make the wrong decision. Some people want you to fall so that they can take your position, which is sad, but that's, the 7 of Swords clarifying the 6 of Wands is that energy. Someone wanting to steal or take your position, take something that you have, and it's concerning work. The 3 of Pentacles means that you could be very good at what you do, and you get a lot of attention with what you do, and people are seeing you and very much complimenting you, and it's evident that you're good at what you do. You shine at what you do. We also have the Strength coming out, being clarified by the Queen of Pentacles. And so hold your position, hold it with balance, with grace. I get that with the Queen of Pentacles. It's almost like, yeah, it may feel like a challenge, but you got this. Like, this is not your first rodeo. Matter of fact, Spirit is saying, do it with poise, navigate it with grace, and stay balanced and grounded while you're doing this. This isn't even something that you need to even let people know you're going through. You can, do this, demonstrate your strength, even silently. You don't even have to boast or brag or speak about it. Like, demonstrated by what you do and how you carry yourself, right? That's the energy I'm getting. Just be confident in what you do and what you bring to the table, how you carry yourself. The experience that you carry under your belt speaks for itself. There's really nothing that you need to say to defend yourself because it's evident in whoever you are, how you carry yourself, okay? Just be aware that there's a need to be cautious this week. Why is the Five of Cups here? Almost like the element of walking away from something or someone. There's fallout that's happening. All of a sudden, this hits you. Whatever this information is almost like going to feel like it blindsides you. You don't see this coming. However, you're being asked to handle it with poise. It could be tearing you up on the inside, killing you softly, right? And on the outside, you could just be going on about your business like ain't nothing happened, right? You're being asked to handle it with poise. Whatever this is, you'll end up needing to walk away from it. When you find out what it is, it's going to feel like it just sideswipes you. Whatever this is, you won't see this coming. But you'll need to walk away from it, okay? When you realize the nature of what it is. And why is the Page of Swords here? This is the information that's coming in. What is this information that will be revealed to my viewer this week? What is this? So I thought the Seven of Cups was out here already. Did I misread that? That was the Nine of Cups. Oh, that changes things. That changes things. Be careful who you listen to. Be careful who has your ear. Again, there's that deceptive energy coming in here of someone wanting to knock you off of your throne, possibly, right? Or wanting to offer something to get you all fumbled up and scattered in your energy. Be careful who has your ear and who you allow to speak into your life, okay? With that Page of Wands. Now, to go back to your heart energy, the Nine of Wands, which I thought was the Seven of Wands, it kind of changes it a little bit. So here now we have two cards that point to the energy of you receiving what you desire. We have the Star that came out clarifying the Ace of Swords. So some truth is going to guide you towards the truth that's going to help lead you to what you want. Even though you may not know it, it's something that you desire and may turn out better than what you've asked for. And then the Nine of Cups is the second energy that gives that wish fulfillment energy. And so this is something possibly that you desire in your heart, something that Spirit has been trying to show you that you may not have been seeing with the Four of Cups. It was clarified by the Four of Cups. There's something that you may have gotten kind of a little bit bored with. You need something, you feel like you want something more that's going to be more fulfilling at this point. You've gotten bored with something on the job, right? That's how you're feeling this week, like you're getting bored. But be careful not to become, not to become ungrateful, right? It's okay to be bored and want to grow and seek things to keep you passionate and inspired, but don't let that turn into ungratefulness. Don't let that turn into unthankfulness. The Nine of Cups means that you actually have everything that your heart can desire, or you will have it. But there's also the need to maintain a sense of appreciation, right? What happens when we get everything that we ask for? We lose that sense of wanting to strive or work for something, right? When we get it, then it's like, okay, well, what's next? I have everything I want. But be careful that you don't find yourself in a situation of boredom and allow that to take you into ungratefulness or a lack of gratitude or appreciation for what you have. It's easy to do, okay? What we don't see is there's a time of rest that may be approaching us this week, or maybe we will find ourselves in this sense of stillness. Maybe we need to not allow ourselves to be frustrated to the point where we strike back. Spirit is saying, don't respond. If there's something that comes in to try to distort our peace or to knock us off our block, don't respond. Okay, there's a better use for the energy. This week actually feels rather beautiful, right? And so things that may try to come in and wreck your peace, your happiness, don't respond. We have the Sun, the Ten of Pentacles. Like, this is going to be a very prosperous week. Seven of Pentacles, Temperance, right? Very balanced week. And so above all else, there's a call to be aware. to be aware, because there's some risky business happening this week, and it's attached to warning, which means we need to be aware of what we're doing, the decisions we're making, that we're not operating in selfishness, because there may be people depending on us and the decisions that we're making. Lastly, the Abundance Oracle gives me 2 cards, Right Now and Reframe are the 2 cards that we'll end this reading with for the energy of next week. Right Now says, stay in the presence and don't get too far ahead of the flow. You will soon trust that nothing more will come than can be handled in each moment. Enjoy the right now. There's so much beauty right now in the spread and what's happening right now. You may in fact be in the middle of experiencing the desires of your heart, right? Enjoy it, because this moment is for you, right? Don't get caught up in trying to see what's coming next. Enjoy the peace of this moment. Enjoy the abundance of where you are right now, because I feel like I'm talking to someone who is actually in a really good position. You may be the lender, not the borrower, which says that you are the one that is helping, not the one that's needing help right now. That's huge, right? If you've ever been someone that's had to depend on someone else to come through for you, you understand how huge that is, not to have to ask anyone for anything, not to be boastful, but to understand and appreciate your position, even as a leader, like you're the one giving instruction, not having to take it, right? A lot of responsibility, but yet and still you are the one that's giving instruction. Huge. Don't let it go over your head, right? Enjoy this moment. There's something about you, for those of you that are sitting in your desired place right now, your wish fulfillment, you're in the middle of it, you're experiencing it for many of you. And it's so easy to forget that. You asked for this. And right now you are living your dream, right? Look back 10 years. And that's why it's so important to journal and, do videos and pictures, because it's a great reminder of where we've come from. And when you are in it, sometimes it's easy to forget where you come from. Open that journal a year ago and you start reading about things that you're experiencing right now that you asked for a year ago. And it's like here in living color, it's just, there's just something so beautiful about that. Right now, Spirit is saying, is very purposeful and intentional and fulfilling right now. Okay, tomorrow's going to take care of itself. Enjoy right now for whoever you are. And then reframe comes to remind you, whatever happens this week, don't get it twisted. It's not happening to you, but whatever it is, it's happening for you. There's going to be like something beautiful that comes out of this. However this translates, I do see some challenges coming through with you being responsible, possibly for others, or having to navigate some difficulties with decisions. Maybe even having to walk away from some places, some people, some things. But it's a blessing at the end of the day, because you're walking into something else, right? Yeah, you're having to give up something, but you're also receiving something here. On this picture, there's little boxes that are like little gifts. And then there's butterflies, which talks about something being unfolded, something transforming. We did get the Death here. We also got the Tower. Those are 2 cards that talk about transformation and change. Transformation and change, okay? And so that's what we're dealing with. And it could be all around receiving some information, some important information. So you could be receiving messages this week about this change. You could have some direct communications about the change. But I feel like that for some of you, there's something about you already knowing a lot about this, but you'll be receiving more clarity, more information about this that will allow you to navigate it more clearly, okay? And for those of you that may be tempted to look at it in a negative way, Spirit is saying, reframe how you're looking at it. This is not happening to you, it's happening for you. Okay? So trust it. Trust it. It's happening for you. So that's the energy for this week. I'm going to pull a couple of my little charms here, see what comes out. All right. So I have the, what is this called? The male deer. The male deer comes out. And then we have the Tommy gun. Oh, interesting. Okay. And then we have the, what is this? It's like the, I don't know what you call that. There's a symbol that you usually see in like Mexico or Arizona of an It looks like a bull's head or ram's head with horns on it. I don't know, a buffalo? Is that what that is? I don't think it's a buffalo though. And then we have a wiener dog, little wiener dog. I'm at a loss for words with these charms. I'm gonna really be honest because half of them. So for someone, I do feel a lot of male masculine energy coming out. A lot of masculine energy, even though I have not completely named all of these correctly. Let me just see here. So we have the male deer. There's a certain name for it. A stag. A stag. Okay. And for a stag, the spiritual meaning is virility. I'm getting lots of masculine energy that's coming out here. And so I don't know if that would be like a warning of just the type of energy that you'll be dealing with, whether it's a woman, whether it's men, it's going to be lots of masculine energy, embodying that energy of strength and virility. This could also talk about renewal coming in, but it's leadership energy. Spirit is asking you to lead with wisdom, to lead with your intuition, and not just be all heady, but allow yourself to be guided by your inner knowledge as well, your experience, your intuition, you being able to connect with things and people outside of yourself, being able to think in terms bigger than you, okay? Finding balance in that with the stag here. And then we have the wiener dog, which is it's an unusual dog. If you know what a wiener dog is, they're really little and they're rather long. They have a long body, low to the ground. Very interesting animal. Maybe not the most favorite, but they tend to be very kind and very helpful, very loving. So there's something different. I don't know if I'm talking to someone who maybe something to do with height. There's something to do with height. I don't know if it's just personal or this week there may be something that comes up with height. Maybe you have a wiener dog that you own. Let me see. And then we have the Tommy gun. It's almost giving me like gangster vibes, which is lots of masculine energy. Maybe even, and then it's not just one shot, but it's like multiple shots coming out at a time. So this could be like the energy, the information coming at you, just like, a Tommy gun. It's just back to back to back to back to back. That may be how it feels, right? And there's something about you being careful of what that is that you allow in with the Seven of Cups. It's being careful and heeding the warnings that you receive, okay? Maybe even taking a look at who's bringing that energy. And that may give you a better idea on whether that's something that you should receive or not. And then lastly, we have and I want to say like a bull skull, which is more masculine energy. Yep, that's what it is. It's a bull skull. And that also symbolizes strength and power and resilience. And it almost has like a level of an ancestral connection. You could be someone who is very much deeply connected ancestrally. So this is maybe even a sign to connect more heavily this week. You'll need that type of guidance this week, maybe even protection. But this is calling you to dig out and stand courageously, protecting yourself. There's something here that leads to the death, that cycles of life and death. Here it is a skull. And so maybe it has a personal cultural context for you, right? Maybe these symbols are very personal for you that may bring in their own messages, okay? But that's what's coming out in the messages here, in the little trinkets that came out. And so like, share, comment, subscribe if you feel led. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's always a pleasure reading for you. Blood Moon Oracle here. And until next time, take care. And yeah, just be ready for next week. It has good things coming in. The important thing is to guard what you have, right? Guard what you have, okay? and set up your protection well. Until next time, that's the message coming from Blood Moon Oracle. Take care.